IVM.
TFG Football is an IVM production, and you can also check out their other awesome shows like Geek Fruit with fellow and television geeks Tejas, Jishnu and Dinkar as they discuss the world of science fiction and nerd culture.
You're listening to TFG Football.
Welcome everyone to a brand new episode of the TFG Indian Football Podcast. A moment of recollection over here about how India played, and I think they made us proud. Chiranjit, you would agree that they showed all the heart out, and this is the best they could do against such a strong team. All in all, a great effort put down by the Indian team.
Yeah, well, some mistakes just got us down at the end, right? It could have easily been 2-1 and then my prediction would have come right and I would be very happy and we would be in a very good position actually. But like fighting USA till the end, and possibly Ghana is the best team in the group. USA is not that far off. So yeah, that they were competitive till the end and even created their best chance towards the end of the game. It kind of shows that, yeah, India can be competitive at this level and we can be proud of this performance. And considering that this was our debut, we have never played at this level before. The players don't have any experience of this kind of competitiveness. Yeah, we should be happy with this. Just the scoreline it's not justified, man. For a match like this, a 3-0 scoreline is completely unjustified.
Yeah, Chiranjit rightly said, it could have been a way different had that goal gone in from Anwar Ali, was it? And Siju, what are your thoughts on India's game?
Well, I missed out on the first half because we had press conference and stuff like that, but watched the second half. Honestly, according to me, we were playing kind of I thought like players, the Indian boys were kind of lost and they lost time and thinking a lot on the field, like while they were in action. We could definitely see the lack of experience and a bit of nervousness coming in. But taking that aside, of course, it's the first big event like this, and they're playing, in a short period, the team was formed and they've been playing together not for a very long time. So I think it takes time to, get used to playing in such conditions and pressure and everything, all of that. But just like Anwar Ali, that particular moment, and also there was another one, which I can't recollect the name of the player, but he kind of tackled 3-4, dodged 3-4 guys at close to the D. But then again, he lost the ball, losing time and thinking, okay, what should I do now next? So there were moments like that where the player had the ball, but they were kind of, they didn't know where to pass. So, we also saw moments like when they were running away with the ball, they failed to look on top. They didn't know where their, compatriots are so that they can pass the ball. So I think few things here and there, but a decent game. Definitely lots to improve. So yeah, I was anyway not looking for a win here.
Yeah, see, it was the first game of, at any big competition that we can imagine India play, and this is the World Cup. It had to be difficult, but, to stand that pressure is what we wanted to check, and we did. The first half that we played, I think till the penalty was conceded, we were holding a very good defensive line, and that is what frustrated USA to some extent, because they were not able to get into inside the box, and that was the plan. Because if you start out all out on attack against such a strong team, you're going to you will concede early in the game, and we didn't want that. So the plan was to just sit back and absorb the pressure and play on the counter attacks. But the problem was when we hit the counter, where there were hardly any players to run forward with the ball. So that was the difficulty that we faced holding the defensive line. Had that penalty not been given away, we were still in a very strong position, because defense is what we wanted to do. And as I said earlier, playing defensive is very, very difficult, because you can never stop yourself committing for the ball. And against such a physical side, I think we did excellent in that first 30 minutes. Only after the goal, we conceded the goal, I think we started to play a little more freely, and we entered the USA half, the defensive half of theirs, and that's when we started creating those moments. And those moments are the ones that we could have changed. That scoreline could have been much, much different had we made the most of that.
Yeah, actually, we were speaking to, later on, this was after the game, the next day after the match happened. We were speaking to the media officer of the Indian national team, Joseph Solomon, good guy. He was talking about like what people were discussing, what the players and the coach were discussing after the match. And one theme that was, just prevalent was that they were just sad by the way they conceded that goal, the first goal. You put up such a big fight, you just want to get into the halftime on a 0-0 score line at any cost, and then that soft foul happens and the penalty is given away and USA score so easily. That's a bit demoralizing. After you put up such a big fight, the goal happens so softly. So that sort of affected them psychologically, but they did fight though. We saw in the second half they did not give up. Actually, the second half started with a couple of coordinating attacks from India. The midfield was suddenly just moving up together. Actually, the first time we saw just 3-4 players moving up from the midfield and attacking with short passes amongst themselves. It was kind of like they had nothing to lose anymore, so they just had to chase the game, so they took it head on. So yeah, they were a bit disappointed by the way those certain small events let the team down, but they completely fought till the end, and that's the big takeaway from this match.
Yeah, and also if you just consider individual performances, Dheeraj is the standout. What excellent saves he brought out, and he was the one who kept USA strikers at bay, and that is something that led to a bit of frustration for the USA side, because he was punching out the corners, he was bringing out great saves, and even the saves that he made, he didn't put the ball back into the danger area, and that was the best part about his clearances, that his punches were on the spot, and his calling out was there. That coordination with the defense, that is what you want to see in a team that's freshly coming together at such a global stage. And I think the defense was holding their lines very well. Yeah, even if at all that penalty wasn't given, I think we were in a very good position to go into the halftime at 0-0, and that would have been a great result.
Yeah. It was a penalty, though. I mean, there you can make argument that it was. Yeah. So I think Jitendra and Anwar, couple of them had some bad luck. Just going into the game, they played so well, but they were at the forefront when certain mistakes happened. But you have to take it in your stride. When you are turning up, you're new at this level. You're gonna make one or two mistakes that will be just that will show poorly on you. That's part of the lesson, I think, that we're having.
Yeah. And also talking about the crowd at the stadium, it was a great support that the Indian team received. People coming in from various states and various clubs that they came together. The Blue Pilgrims made themselves heard, and there were a lot of young children in the crowd. I believe those were that was the initiative of the government to get them along to add to the crowd. And Chiranjit, what do you make of that? The crowd was excellent.
Yeah, well. Apparently some 27,000 tickets were distributed. Maybe that figure is a bit high because obviously none of this is fully official source, but that's what we're hearing. A huge number of tickets distributed to make a big crowd for this match, and we had about 46,000 people showing up. It looked very good. The crowd made it worth for the boys to turn up. You could see that the presence of such a huge support was affecting them, and the players talked about it afterwards. And it's great that we have had that on the historic occasion, and that actually drove up the sales for the next game. Tonight, India versus Colombia. I saw all the sections are showing as sold out apart from the West Block lower level 2. So, but again, from what we're hearing from other venues, sold out can have very different connotations of where the tickets are going. But for India, it really paid off. What painted a bad picture though was the way there was a lack of shortage of water and other basic requirements, that led to some unfortunate scenes. Even the press box wasn't much better off. The water supply was inadequate throughout the stadium. So, yeah, that's something they will have to fix tonight. We better have a lot better distribution of these things.
All right, some great things happening over there. Obviously, getting in school kids was a good idea, but then genuine ticket sales, whether they happened, and if people who really wanted to get into the stadium, were they, did they miss out on the ticket by any chance? And what's the situation in Kochi, Siju? Can you shed some light there?
Yeah, I mean, so when it was a massive crowd, I mean, even before the game started, like when we reached the stadium around 2 o'clock or 2:30, there's already a huge crowd building up, and as the games progress, the time was going ahead, I mean, closing in on the match, huge crowd amounted there. So we were like, okay, this would be a match as sold out, just like they said. But during as the match progressed, and then the announcement was made that we crossed somewhere around 21,000. So we were like, okay. Well, yeah, so as we all know, the capacity was brought down to 29,000 because of sector reasons. But when the official announcement was made about the crowd that was gathered there for the match to Spain, it was around this 21,000. And we all wondered, then what's wrong? What happened with the 8,000? So we've put up a story about it on our website, thefangirls.com. We spoke to one of his fans who wanted to watch the game but could not because of the tagline, it said it's sold out. But he tried his best to get to the match. I mean, asked tickets, but nobody, he couldn't, and he finally missed out on the game. And then he was quite disappointed to know that there were empty seats. So either this is given out to sponsors who didn't market themselves well and who didn't care about the game that's happening, and there were people who missed out on the game because who would want to watch. So there was a statement released by the LOC stating that very baseless and empty statement that it didn't answer any of the questions as to where is the 8,000. Or it was not just in Kochi. We also hear from Goa. We heard instances from Kolkata. So I think, I don't know. I mean, as we go on, we need to know where is it going. We need an official number, what's happening, because if the media and the organizers are given some respect, I think it's time that we give the fans that bit because it's for them. I mean, it's time that we take note saying that it's for the fans and just not, for any other people who sponsor. I mean, even they are not making use of those tickets. And I mean, might as well give more tickets for the fans to come and watch the game.
Yeah, the thing is that sponsors have a section of the gallery allotted to them, and they will not let go of the tickets. It's like part of the package that they get. So if they cannot
get the people,
but maybe even like either the sponsor is not, it doesn't have that kind of presence in India, or it does not really, even care about this event at this point. But we have to actually look at maybe the certain amounts of tickets were given to the state association members, or VIPs, or certain organizations that work with the local organizers or something like that. It often happens that people who get tickets for free don't really appreciate it. Okay, and that's one of the reasons why we sometimes see empty seats in crucial blocks in our stadiums, and it just sucks. It should not happen.
Yeah. So I think all of this should be taken into consideration and being sorted out even before the tournament starts, because right now it's not a tournament run by AIFF or any local committee. It's something a world governing body like FIFA. So the whole, as we all know, I mean, all eyes are on India right now. So I think They should pre-sort out way before. And
yeah, it's FIFA. It's FIFA, but most of the personnel are Indian and they have been hastily trained. And it was obvious in the way that there was certain amount of, I'm only in Delhi, so I can speak from that experience. There was a certain amount of lack of organization, and maybe some of them were not even prepared for the task to be this big. There's a lot of inexperience among the people who are doing this. You're doing this in India, so you're going to have a lot of people who have not worked with this kind of a tournament before. But yeah, maybe going into the tournament, a couple of matches in, they will be better prepared for the situation. And yeah, please sort this ticket out. There are people who genuinely want to watch this match are not getting a chance. And how is that? How does that reflect good on India if we are hosting this historic event in our country?
Yeah, hopefully those issues are taken care, and that was the update on the ticketing side from Kochi. We have a story on the website, as you mentioned, and also we will keep an eye on this if there's some good news for those who have been waiting and watching or wanting to get into the stadium to get their hands on the tickets. On that note, we will head on to a break, and on the other side we will preview the game that India will be playing against Colombia tonight, and also a clip where we hear the medio Suresh who played an excellent game the other night, and we will hear from him. All that on the other side of the break.
Shunyawan, 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 Shunyawan.
$1 billion acquisition. Another copycat startup got formed.
No, the tech world in India is surely moving double the speed of this voiceover.
Tune in to Shunya One every Tuesday to catch us talking to the smartest people we know on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
All right, guys, welcome back after the break. And so India will be playing Colombia. Both of these teams, respectively, have lost their opening encounters. Colombia played against Ghana, and Ghana beat them 1-0. So India is on a disadvantage here because even though they've lost the game, but -3 is the goal difference that they will be getting into the game, and that will be an important factor if progression is looked at from India. They would want to bridge that gap or getting closer to that positive goal difference. That will mean beating Colombia by at least 4-0, which is optimistic, but is it likely, Chiranjeev?
See, I don't think anybody is expecting a 4-0 win for any team in this particular match. And frankly, we don't really need to worry that much about it. See, just look at the situation. Most of the matches have had a clear winner and a loser because in the group stage, we don't really have that kind of evenly matched groups. Very rarely we have a group where we have three teams who are really going at it, for the top two position. So most of them have been, have had a result. Only Iraq, Mexico have been a draw. So there's a good chance that at least two of the third place teams will not have a win to their name. Okay, so we should not worry about goal difference at this point. Yes, goal difference matters, but we would have been in a position where we could have taken that into consideration if we had lost to USA 2-1. A -1 goal difference is something we can bank on, but a -3, it's just it's not worth worrying over. Let's just try to get a win tonight, and hope that the rest of the matter falls into place. I think India still has a good chance to be one of the top 4 third place teams that goes into second round if India win tonight. But it just does not look that easy. Colombia were playing Ghana. Ghana are one of the best teams in the group. I think they are actually better than USA. And Colombia were sort of getting pressed by Ghana. Granted, Ghana were not asserting themselves 100%. It was their first match and they wanted to take it easy. A win was enough. But Colombia were creating trouble. They were moving up in counters and just surprising the Ghana defense once or twice. And if you remember, India got surprised a few times as well by counters. In fact, the third goal for USA came via a counter, which completely caught the Indian defense off guard. So, yeah, it just looks like Colombia have all the tools to dismantle India's defense and get a couple of goals in early. And if that happens, then the entire situation is out of our hands. So, yeah, let's see how that goes.
Yeah, Siju. So, second round in the group stage. What do you think about India's chances?
I'm still sticking with that. Give me a goal, I'm happy. I still say the same thing that I said during the first game. I don't know. I mean, after watching the first game, yes, it was USA, and we are not expecting major to happen. But by looking at the game, that whatever I've watched, there's a lot for us to do, and I think I don't know. I don't see. I'm not giving a win to India, but if it happens, okay, well and good. And yeah, the same thing. I'm give me a goal. I'm the happiest of the lot.
Yeah.
Yes, but imagine this scenario. We start with 3-4-3. I mean, I was actually very impressed that Matos was, taking USA head on by starting 3-4-3. We're likely to do the same tonight. So we start and we create a moment like we did against USA. It's actually going to be easier to put pressure on Colombia defense than the USA defense. I think USA have a better, more well-structured team. So we create that moment, and this time we don't hit the bar, and we get the goal. And somehow at halftime we're 1-0. Then we can just manipulate the entire situation. Once we have that early goal, we can now think about, okay, let's put 5 people in the defense, do anything to hold on to it, just somehow squeeze a win through, and that's all we need in the end from this game. So I think if with some luck we may actually be able to pull it off, but it will take the best performance that these boys have ever given. Okay, India have played Colombia before. I think that was a loss, 3-0 loss against Colombia. So yeah, even Suresh Singh Wangjam, excuse me, who was speaking to us after the match against USA. He was looking forward to the Colombia match. He said we will be in more pressure than the USA game because the Colombia team knows how to create a sustained pressure on the final third.
Yeah.
Okay, which the USA team was missing from time to time. So yeah, it's going to be the toughest challenge yet because we need a win here. Otherwise, the whole thing just goes south, and we will have to expect or hope that our boys put on their best show yet.
Now, what is important is, out of the 3 games, this is the second game, and this is where everything is, either you make it or you break it. If you don't win this game, you're totally out of the game, out of the tournament. So it becomes very important that you don't concede early, because that will change the entire scenario for whatever plans that both teams have.
Yeah.
So as we saw, when India conceded the goal, and that is when they came to life and they started playing, even more freely, and that was the plan. If had we gone into the halftime 0-0, but things will be a little bit better for India, because Boris, who was suspended for the first match, comes back on the right back position, and
exactly.
I feel somewhere I feel Rahul did an excellent job. I think he was able to intercept, he was able to block, and there were some challenges that he put in, and that was timely. But again, Boris is he's known to be much quicker and pacier, and even calm in the head. So that is going to give us the edge from the flanks. He's going to make some great runs down the line, and so I'm expecting a formation of we played mostly a 4-5-1, because seeing the defensive shape of India in the midfield, we just had 1 or 2 players who were ready for the counter. Now this might shift the focus more of for 4-4-2, where we have the wingers coming into play on the counter attacks. But again, the key will be not to concede early and try to play as much as in the attacking half rather than the own defensive half.
Yeah, let's see. So Yeah, part of India's problem was that they were actually creating chances, but final third, the game was not that good. So they will have to up that as well. So let's say India will have to play 60 to 70% better than they played against USA, and they might just sneak through a 1-0 win.
A 1-0 or a 2-1 is what I feel that India might just end up. And 2-1 will be a great victory considering 3 points in the bag. And what if USA and Ghana end up in a draw? So that just leaves us one.
Oh, I wish.
So that just leaves us 1 point behind the top, and that will be a great chance. So going up against Ghana. So let's head on to a clip that Suresh was speaking to the journalists after the game, and his thoughts and what he said about the upcoming fixture about Colombia.
After 3-0 loss, what are you thinking about Colombia match?
It's part of the game. We the team already forget the scoreline which we have lost in 3-0 against USA. Now our mindset is to play our game in the Colombia match on 9 to give our best, and we weren't disappointed the home crowd also.
What was the experience like of playing your first World Cup match actually with so much crowd, with so much support? How was and was there any nervous moments initially when you started out?
See, actually it was our first time in 17 years old playing around 45 or 60,000 crowd, and it was very fantastic moment also. And it's our first World Cup match, and in India playing a World Cup, it's a history, because even the Sunil Chetri haven't never played a World Cup, and he told to us that he will give his 15 years career to play the World Cup. So we the team was not nervous. We was very exciting to play our game, and we enjoy last night.
Yesterday's game, after the 3-0, you must have done some things right, and you have to work on some things. What did you do right? What do you have to work on? Just talking in terms of football.
See, we have to. Our final pass was not good. So if we make our final pass more better and scoring, because we have around 3 or 4 chances of scoring, we miss it. So if we focus on that, we'll be much better in the Colombia match.
Suresh, after the match, when you returned to the hotel, what did you guys talk about, and what was the discussions like among all of you, the players?
See, after we reached hotel, to be honest, I went yesterday hotel little late because I went for a doping test yesterday. So when I went back, I was alone in the dining hall, so we didn't discuss anything because. So I can't say.
I just want to ask, when the team went back in the half time, what was it that the coach spoke about, and what did you guys basically?
See, the things which our mindset was to give we lead or to make 0-0 in the half time, but last part of the game we conceded 1 penalty. So in the half time we just say that let's focus and go out and give more what we are doing in the first half. That was our talk in the.
So, Suresh, penalty was a turning point. When I say penalty was a turning point, do you think so?
Yeah, it was a turning point. It was in 30 minutes, and so. But what can we say? The referee has given, so we was thinking just a moment, then we let it go and we play our game.
Was it penalty?
That you asked to referee. How can I say?
Okay, so there was some problem when they were moving up for counters. Okay, the speed was sort of a bit of a troublesome for our defense to deal with, and we can expect the same from Colombia and Ghana. So is there some strategy that's coming up for that?
If we are well organized, the speed doesn't matter, because if we are in the position, then we can solve it.
For most of the first half, you were penned in your own half. There was a lack of a release ball through the first striker. Or did that build up pressure on you?
No, actually our strategy was we defend on our own half and go for the counter attack. So it was that.
Suresh, how do you see your role in the team now after yesterday's match, after the experience? What do you think you can do better? Or
see, I think I have to give more good passes to the striker, and like we have a good fast player like Aniket, give more balls, and we are lucky that we have one more player, Boris Singh, who is very fast and have a lot of stamina to go up and down, and so make them give the ball and make them something in the offensive part. So it'll be good if I able to do that, and I will do that.
Was it expected what you experienced? Did you expect that to happen? Means the atmosphere.
The atmosphere, yeah, because everyone was calling me, and when we go and meet some person, they say the stadium will be almost full, and we was prepared for the crowd also, because how to deal with that. So yeah, what I was expecting, it was that only.
Usually all the next matches will be one matches. So how do you rate the other opponents? Ghana, Colombia.
Yeah, Colombia, Ghana, they'll be more physical, and USA, they didn't give us too much pressure yesterday. But Colombia, we play friendly match in Mexico, so we have played with them, and we know how they play. So they are more physical. They will give us many pressure, and even they have to win the game because they have lost 1-0 with Ghana. So it'll be a tough match with us. So even we are well prepared to face them.
So which will be the toughest game in your group? Ghana, Colombia, or USA?
I don't know that because I play only one US match. If Colombia play very bad, how can I know that?
Suresh, did you listen to what the USA coach said about your team? He was very impressed with the centre backs and the goalkeeper, your defence. Did you listen to it, or is it something that has encouraged you?
See, most of the time our defensive and goalkeeper, they were well organized. But unfortunately, the defending, we can't defend 90 minutes. So like one mistake, two mistake. When the striker miss 10 goals or something, there's nothing. But when the defender or goalkeeper miss one goal, it's they remember that. But when they defend 10 or 20 times, they forget. But I think our defender and goalkeeper are doing very good job because they are defending very well.
What is the biggest
lesson
from world level? Because this is the first time India's played at a world level. What have you learned from playing at those levels?
See, we have learned many things like how to be a professional also, and here in this tournament like World Cup, when we play a friendly match, which I'm not saying small team or something which is weak team, when we make a mistake they don't punish us. But see, yesterday when we don't score a goal, they counter us and we concede a goal. That is the point, that we must be more focused and we can't do any small mistake or something. So we have learned this also.
All right, so you heard Suresh, and he seems pretty confident and he knows what he's talking. So that means India, are mentally prepared for this game, and hopefully we win against Colombia. That makes the group even more interesting. And I'm praying for a draw between USA and Ghana. Hope that too happens. Chiranjit, final thoughts on this?
Well, I'm not very sure. Actually, I would like USA or Ghana to just have a result, because if by any chance we get a good result, if we get a draw or win against Colombia, I want it to be that the first team is already up, and what if we get a crack at the second position? I mean, I would like that to happen going into the second the last match. We might have a chance to finish second. It's just a psychological thing. So either USA or Ghana. I think Ghana will be better. So yeah, maybe Ghana wins and gets 6 points and sort of makes sure they are already qualified. And we are actually tied at the second place with USA. So that's not very bad.
All right, Siju, any thoughts? You're expecting India to score, and that will make you very happy. Anything else to add on that?
Same thing. Give me a goal and be happiest.
All right. So the match against Colombia that India will be facing is at 8 o'clock tonight, New Delhi.
By the way, before wrapping up, I mean, if things go well and if we've planned accordingly, if things go according to our plans, that is, we might be in a TFG, might be in a special place watching India versus Colombia. I will reveal that if things go well. I will reveal that tomorrow on the show.
All right, that's a surprise that Siju has for us. Let's see how that turns out. And the game is at 8 o'clock tonight. Do tune in if you're at the stadium. Do not forget to shout out for India. We will catch you tomorrow with the review of India's game tonight and other matches as well. Till then, guys, if you're listening to us on YouTube, do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Yes, do let us know what you felt about the game that India played their heart out in, and what are your thoughts about the upcoming game against Colombia. And you can also download the IVN podcast, which is available on Android and iOS, and the podcast is also available on major podcasting apps like SoundCloud, iTunes, etc. We will catch you guys tomorrow. Bye. Take care.
That was was Tantrik Steve from Hansraj College, Delhi, performing at IIT Bombay's Mood Indigo. Just like them, there's a lot of new talent and art coming out of colleges all across India, but unfortunately most of this goes completely unnoticed or ignored. To fix this, we started ATKT.in. Hi, I'm Ankar, I'm a musician and a rapper, and I found that one of the best things about being an artist myself is finding new talent. Through ATKT.in, Tanya, my colleague who's a dancer, and our whole team really is putting all of our efforts into discovering and promoting all the coolest talent that's coming out of colleges all across India. And this goes up on our website, our social media, TV, radio, and now, of course, this podcast with IVM. Make sure you go to our website, support the talent with your likes, your shares, your comments. All of that really matters. Go ahead, check it out. ATKT.in.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Sorry to say, but there's been a slight delay due to the apocalypse having suddenly begun. As you can see, there's death, destruction, and chaos taking place all around us. But don't you worry, food and drinks will be served shortly, and I would recommend checking out
IVM Podcasts
to catch some of your favorite Indian podcasts. We'll keep you going till this whole thing blows over. Thank you.